Keep it going, keep it going. Hey, hey, hey. Yo, I kick a hot rhyme into the hot raps. Shout out to my boys on the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast. I got raps and I got fast. Slow it down with a real nice view. I know a couple Jews represent them playing hard. I got a couple sponsorships from the playing cards. You know it's cool. Represent my true is verbal for the Arut Sheva and the Jewish Journal that hosts this thing. Feeling amazing. Got boots and cats and a couple of Asians and Caucasians. Everyone blazing trails. Feeling the battle. I'm ready to saddle up. Nice on the horse with the rap flow. I'm in Israel. I got a pet camel. You know I'm thinking out nice when I'm flowing. I get it. And other people say, where you living? Out in the Negev. I'm not in Negev. I'm out in the Yafo. I love to eat shawarma with my nacho. Boots and cats every time I got to. Make some noise for 8 times and not. Oh, hey.
Yeah. This podcast is made in collaboration with the Jewish Journal. Check them out at jewishjournal.com. Also in collaboration with Arutz Sheva, israelnationalnews.com. If you'd like to support the podcast, visit 2njb.com/donate. Today, we are doing an episode about something we've never really talked about, rap. So Noah and I, we cracked our heads together and we thought, how can we introduce such a young, hip, cool concept? Naturally, we opened the dictionary. The Oxford English Dictionary gives the word rap a birth year of 1541. The definition, if you were wondering, is to utter, especially an oath, sharply, vigorously, and suddenly. Yeah, we're nerds. Indeed, many words and phrases were uttered vigorously since the rap music style started flourishing in black neighborhoods in America in the form of reggae in the 60s and hip-hop in the late 70s and 80s. But as the years progressed, rap and hip-hop evolved and have become a rich genre in mainstream music. In the last few decades, rap was mixed with every other genre imaginable. It crosses continents, cultures, and languages, but remains still today a form of musical protest, and sometimes even of musical rage. So today we're here to talk about rap music, but not just any rap music, Jewish rap music. We're proud to have Kosher Dillz on the show. Born as Rami Matan Evan Esh, Rami grew up in Jersey to Israeli immigrant parents. He collaborated with Matisyahu, Snoop Dogg, and many, many more. And now he decided to make Aliyah. It gives us the thrills to be joined by the Kosher Dillz.
Yes.
Do I have a future in rap? Or is that...
As an announcer, you're pretty amazing.
But not rap. I like
Lo
how you
and
avoided
behold,
the question.
since 1541.
Before we get started, I want to tell you guys about our friends over at the International Robotics Camp for Girls 2020 in Germany. Over the period of a week or two in Germany, your kids will have the opportunity to explore the sciences and do some incredible, incredible stuff. So if you have a girl who's dreamed about designing her own rocket or building a moon rover, you've got to check out this camp. Visit www.robotics-institute.com. That's robotics-institute.com. The camp started in 2018, and it's taking place at the Hamburg University of Technology in Germany in the summer of 2020. And this year, they're coming to Tel Aviv on December 17th to showcase the amazing program that they've got planned. You can meet Alexis, the founder, and Noah, one of the Israeli participants. They're going to be at the Goethe Institute in Tel Aviv between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Again, that's the Goethe Institute, Goethe Institute in Tel Aviv on December 17th between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. This is a really, really great opportunity, guys. Don't miss out.
Okay, so before we start,
Yes.
guys, listen. If you like the show and you want to help us out, there are 2 ways to do it. You can go to 2njb/donate and give us everything you've got. Or alternatively, you can go to thechosenonegame.com.
Yes, the Chosen
There
One
are
game.
sponsors.
There are sponsors, guys, and it's actually
Holiday
a hilarious
season.
game.
I'm shuffling the cards right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not just making it up that it's hilarious. We're about to prove it to you. Seriously,
play a game?
it's a question-answer matchup. Like there's question cards, there's answer cards.
Which
you
you
match them up.
mixed
It's hilarious,
just now.
but it's whatever. You'll pick a blue one and a white one, and then so basically,
Holiday season is coming,
Yeah.
guys, and this is the perfect gift.
You gotta get it. It's hilarious. It's awesome. It's fun. It's a great gift.
As you shall see right now.
All right. TheChosenOneGame.com. Okay, let's play.
Kosher, you take a question card, which is the white one.
Okay.
And you read me, or from you can take mine. You have also.
Okay, I have some white ones.
Yeah.
All right, let's get one. All right, I got one.
Read it.
Watch out, America. Here comes blank.
Tone deaf cantor.
Mail order shatels.
Oh.
Okay, I go
No.
right, you
Okay.
go blue. What Madoff and Weinstein have in common?
A girl claiming to be Shomer Nagia.
actually
I was waiting. I saw it. I was like,
Blowing
That's perfect.
makes it worth it.
together with blowing my bar mitzvah money on cocaine and strippers.
Mm.
Yeah, fucking Madoff.
Wow,
Madoff. They
You've
stole my
got-
bar mitzvah money.
Give
man.
Rami a question.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Jacob is the best in his class at.
Not funny. I'll pick another one because I don't know how to play the rules. Having 2 sets of dishes. The other one was helicopter parenting, but I want to have 2 sets of dishes. It's good.
Okay,
All right.
last
Must be an
one.
inside
Last
parent
one.
joke.
Last
Yeah,
one. Okay, I'll go. Kosher, you pick the answer. So, tonight, performing at the Whiskey A Go-Go, we have...
Monica Lewinsky. Actually, I know the Whiskey Go-Go. I've played all around there. I haven't played there, but I played at the Roxy
Okay, I'll
Viper Room, and here you go.
So
Nice.
guys,
Let's,
chosencardgame.com and enter the promo code.
How much
yeah,
do
we
they
forgot to
cost?
say.
Like $20?
Like
So I
10.
think it's like
No,
no, like
it's-
$35, but it's like over 400 cards, which is like huge. You
It's
can go
enough
on forever.
entertainment.
And if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
put
yeah.
the promo code to
You get a discount.
yeah,
You
the
get a
number
discount.
2
A nice-
NJB, you get a nice
substantial discount.
discount,
So check
and
it out.
that helps us.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so thank you, Rami, for
I'll buy that as a
participating.
gift for somebody.
Cool.
There we go. We got one sale.
Yeah.
Just
One
don't forget the
who
promo
else?
code.
There's the promo code.
That's essential. So, what is hip hop or rap for you?
So hip hop is, form of expression. Rap music, what I grew up on. Just been listening to it for so long. 1994, 3, I would say. Probably like 95, I really got into it. 96, 97, really into it. 98, 99, started doing it like on stage.
What's the first time you encountered a rap song?
It's funny because I feel like I heard hip hop in high school. I assumed that I heard it at I think my bar mitzvah was like 8 and 9. I think like Ace of Base. I just remember this one scene where they were like Ace of Base was like really hitting hard. I mean, there was like a kind of flowy beat, but that's not hip hop. I guess there's some hip hop elements in pop. Nah, but like Wu-Tang was. I'm from Jersey, so we were like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from Staten Island. So Wu-Tang was obviously like at the top of the game, 95, 96. So like Raekwon, Ghostface Killah.
I'm gonna premise this whole episode and tell you that you're gonna have to sometimes just kind of
Elaborate.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
'Cause
So
we are,
Wu-Tang
like,
Clan is
we
basically the most legendary rap group that has transcended decades of hip hop. I mean, you could also watch. You could just type them up on Netflix. They have a Netflix special. They have a Hulu special where it's all acted out, and they've probably sold millions and millions and millions and millions of records. In fact, they had affiliations, and they had a Jewish guy that made the first ever Holocaust song called Never Again by Remedy. It was probably sold over 1 million copies, 2002, and that was the first time there was Jewish music infiltrating into the rap world.
what's
On a
it
more
about?
serious, it's about the Holocaust.
Like what perspective? It's just about
I'm
the
just talking about Never
devastation?
Again.
Ah, yeah.
Should my people be walked to the slaughter never again? It's like a crazy,
Wow.
dark hip hop beat, and
This
it
is
just
Wu-Tang?
hits. It was affiliations. So RZA, the leader of Wu-Tang, you guys might know him from the film. He had affiliated Wu-Tang Killer Bees. So I mean, it had Killer Army. It was an offset, and people were selling lots of CDs. This is back in the time of Nobody Beats the Wiz, before Best Buy. And people were CDs were selling. This is after tapes, the CDs were really, really selling. This is before MP3 streaming. So they were so successful, they had offshoots, and, the offshoots were selling 100,000, 200,000 records.
Oh wow.
So this record, Wu-Tang Killer Bees, was all affiliates and people that he was putting on locally in Staten Island. And this guy Remedy was the white Jewish guy. And besides that, before that, it was MC Search and the Beastie Boys, obviously earlier than that. But this was the first like Jewish, really like meaningful theme stuff. Like there wasn't anything of like something of real substance that
Like
was
the
like
Beastie Boys never really rapped about Jewish stuff.
they weren't really rapping. Yeah, and they're not. No one's touching the Holocaust on any sort of topic in a hip hop song.
Yeah.
You know. So
It's
shout
kind
out to
of a
Remedy.
downer.
Huh? Yeah,
kind
it's
of a
kind of a
downer.
yeah. So it's kind
Even
of
though
a,
rap is kind of like, I mean, it's not
yeah,
like
like
necessarily
getting
the-
your black child murdered by a cop is also dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not as dark as like 6 million. But
yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. No one was touching it. So, as far
I
as
don't
stuff
wanna
that
compare.
influenced me, and then I guess in like 2000, then like a lot of underground like underground backpack rap, which sort of like nerded out on stuff that was really like locally grown. This is before MySpace, so there was like no way to promote your stuff. There was only message boards, and I was rapping in college at Rutgers, and then
Was that mean like, so you were like doing live shows?
I was entering rap battles basically from like 99
That
to
is
2000.
like,
That's
I feel like
insane.
that's the most stressful like thing. Like I always like, I'm like, okay, you know what? If I had to
Just
like
imagine
sit in a room and like write a rap and then go into a studio and rap it, like
Yeah,
I'd
so,
probably
okay.
still fail. But like I could do that. But like standing in front live and like rap battling, that's crazy. You come
Yeah.
out, you just like off the cuff.
Yeah. Well, no, back then you were preparing, and then you were also going off the cuff freestyle, which is called freestyle rap, which is I'm really.
Tell us
that's like
about
my
your
sport.
first battle.
So I was it's a great question. It was called Bragging Rights. It was at this place called New York Poets Cafe. It's a very famous place in New York City. First place I went on stage. There was at
you
that point
nervous?
I was named Kosher Dill. I wasn't Kosher Dillz yet.
Z.
It was
get
a-
the Z yet.
It wasn't really a Jewish reference. It was a sexual reference. That was like off the bat because my other friend was Yak Balls. Music was meant to be disrespectful and like really disrespectful to you, and that was the goal. There was nothing nice about it. I came from wrestling background, so I wrestled my whole life, and I loved competing and loved fighting, and that was like what I did. So there was a guy, I guess somebody didn't show up. So my buddy Yak, he's like, yo, Kosher Dill, you sign a list. They need you to come down. And there was a group of 4 in a contest of 32 people. So there'd be one winner. I think the winner gets $100. So it was great entertainment for, just to win $100. And I went and I was really high. At that point I was smoking a lot of weed. I was just, going to hip hop shows. This is a time where you could still smoke in New York City. Like you smoke in clubs. There wasn't this no smoking rule. It didn't exist yet. And I went up and I started trying to berate the other dude. And
Was your heart pounding? Or
I was really pounding, and everyone was cheering for me. And it was kind of because it was like, people like to see fights. I mean, that's why people
Yeah.
pay millions of dollars
Do you
to watch
remember?
boxers.
You remember like what are they called? The riffs or what is it like?
So the lines, not offhand.
No.
Um,
But who won?
I took like second in the round of 4, so it was like respectable. I didn't get my ass handed to me,
Okay.
And then I came back 2 months later. It was every 2 months, and I came back as KD Flow because people booed. They're like, "Kosher Dill, boo!" Or oh, pickles.
Anti-Semites.
Yeah. Anti-Semitism. Like I don't know. People weren't throwing that around yet. So then I went back, and then I won as KD Flow, and then I was like starting to get respect in rap in general, and then and then slowly and surely just started entering rap battles in college and learning how to work a crowd. And learning how to work a crowd of like non-white people, and learning how to work a crowd of like all white people, and just there were these crowds that existed, in certain parts of wherever I was, especially in Jersey. And it was still Eminem had just come out, so it was still very like new for people to be like seeing white rappers. And still today, people are like, "Oh my God, you're white and you rap." I'm like, dude, it is 2019. I'm like, we're like, we're far past
But
that.
is it like athletes that like because what can you do? African Americans, they rap amazingly, right?
It's like very much part of the culture.
Yeah, it's culture. It's a cultural thing.
So is it like a whole other league, you think? Like, or is it really?
But it's not African Americans. It's people of hip hop, and it was birthed by an African American. Like the first hip hop party was in New York, 1979. DJ Kool Herc. So, and correct me if I'm wrong. If someone's like, "No, it wasn't," there could be a whole little rap nerd off here on your podcast. I'm like,
and then you get shot when you
Definitely
in
not
New
by
York
us.
City. Yeah,
No.
We're gonna take
But
your word for
this
it.
is why Tupac was.
But
Yeah.
hip hop was anyone that was in that was the thing with Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang was like really spoke to like young Jewish kids and like especially that when you're selling them and it was just so global and there's black people, Spanish people, brown people, hip hop started taking over and it became a mainstream force early 2000s. People weren't aware of it. And then when I came out as Kosher Dillz in 2005, I had it was sort of like there was in the underground rap, there was this dude named Necro and Ill Bill, and they were like sort of the Bugsy Siegel, like the tough Jew, sort of like Jewish gangster kind of persona, which was existing more. And at that point, I was Kosher Dillz. There was no one else like me. There was another guy named Iron Solomon, who was a really big Jewish battle rapper. It wasn't cool. There were no Lil this and Lil that. Like right now, if you go on Spotify, there's about 8,000 rappers with the first name is Lil this, Lil that, Lil everything, Lil Key, Lil Rob, Lil Gato.
Lil Wayne.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, mind you, I came from like an era where there was real rap. And then because my name Kosher Dillz, I was like incarcerated for a little bit. And then I was like really didn't like being Jewish and didn't really have this whole persona, which I had a big resentment, honestly, because I was the first one born in America and everyone else was Israeli. And I just really didn't feel any connection to any of the local Jewish kids. Mm-hmm. I didn't do any of those Jewish programs, none of the BBYOs or USYs. Mm-hmm. I didn't do none of that. I still try to like grasp on like how awesome that is for kids to grow up with that. I didn't have that. I did sports. So I was like, we were like more of a full contact Jewish family than like a no contact Jewish family, I'd like to say.
So you felt kind of like an outsider.
Yeah.
And then, so you ended up getting incarcerated
yeah. So,
for what?
Sold drugs when I was younger from like 18 to like 22. I dropped out. I was a Division I wrestler at Rutgers and I like totally left. Shit. And I was like underwatched by feds. I was just in the wrong crowds. Like I wouldn't say I was like I thought I was way bigger than I was.
What were you selling?
I don't think it's really important, but I mean, you could look it up online, you know what I'm saying? No. Yeah. But yeah, like everything.
Because Eitan's in the market. So.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question about mushrooms on Nice Joyce Boys podcast? You're like, this will be a first for us.
I'm just wondering like where you came from. I think it's amazing to like overcome that kind of
I mean, listen, stuff. There are certain I was been getting arrested. I got arrested like 3 times when I was younger, 18, 19, and I was 20 and then like 22. So and then I got clean and sober at 23 or 22 turning 23 and now I'm 38 living it. So I've had a long journey and in between that time I decided I was like, you know what, I'm going to come out as a rapper. I'm going to come out as a rapper named Kosher Dillz. And that way, if I ever become popular, it'll be like this really, because I had this like hint of Jewishness in me. And it was like a mix of like the horrorcore rap, like the tough Jewish guy rap. But also then I met this dude, Modest Yahoo, in 2004. This is before I put out my first record. And my buddy, who's actually in Israel now, he was Modest Yahoo's first drummer. Shout out to Jonah David, who I met at New Rican Poets Cafe. This is trippy.
Which is where your first battle was?
Yes.
Nice.
He was drumming there for other events. And
nice.
he's like, yo, there's this guy. And I was like sober 4 months, and he's like, there's this guy. He's really Jewish and he'll want to make you do a lot of Jewish things, but you should go and he'll let you rap with him maybe.
This is back when he's still
yeah, it was
religious?
Really, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2004. I mean, he was religious for me. He was just in the heart of it. So I went and I rapped with him there, and I was like, there was like so many Jewish. I never saw so many Jewish people in my life to the day I went to a Modest Yahoo show on Christmas in New York City, BB King's, 2004, December.
Oh, wow.
And it was the most amazing thing. And I was rapping, and there was a guy, Drez from Black Sheep, it was just like, engine, number 9 on the New York Transit line. Wait, do you know this song? Oh, my God.
He's right about to start singing with you.
Yeah. It my train don't. Okay, so he did that with Modest. Jonah's drumming in the band, and then I'm like, wow, this like Jewish thing is real. So people are like, your name is Kosher Dillz, and Modest Yahoo introduced me as Kosher Dill. This is my friend Kosher Dill, like very like yeshivish kind of voice. And you could listen to it on like, I think, what is it, archive.org. They have like all these old shows because they did all the audio of it. Maybe you could get a sample for the show.
Okay.
And I ended up like people started reaching out from all over, and you're like, you should play at this Jewish event or something. And I was like, what? And I'm like, all right. And you're like, we'll can pay you to come rap at our. I'm like, you want to pay me to rap? Sure, let's go. And next thing you know, I was like in the Israel Day Parade, and I'm just now, and then there's like these yeshiva programs that want me to rap. It was mostly like religious things.
Yeah.
And I'm like the furthest thing away from, a religious person.
Yeah.
I think. I would be considered way more Jewish though than all my non-Jewish friends are like in LA that are like Jewish songwriters. I'm like, oh, you're like the most Jewish person I know. So and it just kept going on, and I just kept like identifying. I listened to my songs, and I would like rap about Israel, or like I wouldn't rap about it. I would just say the words, and I would say Israel or say something Jewish, and just throwing it out there as part of the song. And in 2008, I had a record that like got in Spin magazine, and it was like my first one. And it was a song called "I Love Jews" over the Delphonics "I Love You" beat. It goes la 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 la. I love you. You know that song?
No.
Oh my God, you guys are the worst. I love
We
you.
are. We're like a blank slate, man. You got to teach us everything.
And I did this thing with this guy named C. Ray's Walls, and then it's a really underground rap.
Wait,
artist.
but 2008 was your first record?
Like first one, like out in the open, like record stores.
How many songs were on it?
10.
10.
And it was a collaboration record with this black dude from the Bronx named C. Ray's Walls, who was really kind of obsessed with Jewish culture, and he really liked it. We did a song with Modest Yahoo together in 2006 called Childhood, and
There's another one I saw, Dodging Bullets, but that was
Dodging
later
Bullets.
on.
Yeah, that was more recent. So then I just started like messaging everyone. You got to think I was like still on probation, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to email like every Jewish organization that has ever existed in the entire history of the United States and attach this song to the email with Modest Yahoo, because he's the most popular Jewish artist, and they're going to email me back. Plan. It sounds like a plan. Or I get to you on my AOL account. And next thing you know, I started. You've got mail, yeah. Next thing you know, I started traveling around, and I started like doing collaborations with artists from Israel, and just.
So your parents, how did they react, and then what was the first show they attended?
It's interesting you say how they react, because it's such like a common question that Jewish people ask only artists. It was never a question that anyone ever asked in any other kind of interview. Yeah, my parents
because the Jewish mother would probably.
I think my parents
disown you from like if I became a rapper, my mother would disown me.
Yeah, he's like, I know you're very successful, but you're now disowned. You're like your apartment. Mind you, I'm in this amazing apartment, guys. It's like overlooking the entire city of Tel Aviv. It's just a pure place of success, but you're totally disowned, and I want nothing to do with you. So my parents were like, once I stopped, I mean, I've been sober for over 15 years. I mean, it's not like, I don't drink sometimes on the weekends. I'm like completely sober. I don't smoke, don't drink, don't do like, no sniffing, no shooting, no dunking, no inhaling, no, through the ears, through the eyes, whatever.
You lost me after smoking.
Okay, perfect. You're like, how do you do that?
I'm like, dunking. What does basketball have to do with this?
No. Yeah,
Eitan is Googling drinking vodka through the eyes.
So, and that was one thing. They were like, okay, you stay clean. And then like, cause I had an issue with drugs and alcohol. That was like a big part of my life, and it was really untouched topic in the Jewish world. So, trying to like go and speak about, as just a different Jewish story. There's not many people are like, oh, what college did you go to? And you're like, no, I was supposed to finish. I was like slated to like, wrestling Division I NCAA, which is odd already. And then it's, everything to do with drugs. So I took that same mentality and put it towards the music and started,
So at the beginning, what did your parents?
Yeah. My mom, as long as you like, stay healthy and stay clean, you really can't say nothing. Yeah, they're going to be. And
they went to your concerts.
I started bringing my mom on stage. I think in like 2013, I toured with Modest Yahoo, and then I like invite my parents on stage, and then
that's so Jewish.
Yeah,
it's like a bar mitzvah every time.
But totally, like people love your mom. Everyone loves a mom. Like once you bring your mom on stage, like you'll sell way more merchandise after the show. It's more like a business decision. My mother, I'm like, Mom, get on stage. She's like, no, and then she'd say, okay. And she would do it. And I brought her on stage at like, amphitheaters and stuff, I'm like, Mom, get on stage and do your part of the song.
She has a part?
Well, there's a song called Wavy. And my mother's name is Chaya. So I introduced the song as, my mother's name was Chaya. So when I grew up going to the mall in New Jersey, people would say Chaya to their friends. And my mom would turn around. I said, Mom, they're not saying Chaya, they're saying Chaya. So I tell the crowd to say Chaya. And they're like, Chaya. And I'm like, no, say it like a Jew. Chaya. And they're like, Chaya.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I really love making a crowd that's not Jewish, like understand, let's get really Jewish. Let's get real weird. And I like getting really weird. Like, let's get uncomfortable. Let's get a little bit more uncomfortable. Does it feel weird now?
Let's
Stretching
do
it.
mass circumcision.
Yes, like
Together.
circumcised. And you're like, yeah, it's a party. And I give bar mitzvahs at shows. Sometimes like, who's ever had a bar mitzvah? And they're like, me. Who wants one right now? I want a bar mitzvah. Let's fucking do it. You know Dave Bautista?
Nope.
Wait,
Fair-
David Bautista.
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he came to one of my shows. I toured with RZA, and he was in a movie
Batista
called
is
Man.
like the
big
the
WWE,
big
right?
plays
Yeah.
yeah.
And I had him light the menorah. It was a shout out to rejews.org. They're great. They do like all this recyclable initiative, and they found me. My buddy Henry found me a recyclable. Is that a word? Recycleless.
I think so.
Okay, recyclable
Recyclable.
menorah out of like lead pipes or something, and he put it on stage. And Dave Bautista did the blessing,
No
and then
way.
we gave the Hava Nagila, and we put him in a chair and started lifting him up in the air. And he was in the middle of shooting a film called Bushwick, which came out really cool. It was-
The cop film or the action film? It was like
it's an action thing, and it's like the whole world. There's like a world war like happening in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah?
And he has like like emotional parts in it where he's speaking and like he's not just a superhero.
I see.
And so I gave a worldwide celebrity bar mitzvah. And
That's
he's
amazing.
Like, and that's like as about as Jewish as it's gonna get for him his
Yeah.
entire life.
He's not
you know?
Jewish.
No, of course not.
Batista.
Batista.
Yeah. Okay, so before you came out with the record, you were doing all this rap battles, and then you were saying that it's like all about just kind of putting down the other person.
Yes.
And, right. So, but then you came out with this record. What was the content? What's the song? What are the songs about?
Freestyle verse written. The guy I wrote all my songs, and the
Yeah.
other guy did free. This is a guy that taught me how to freestyle rap. His name's C. Ray's Walls, and he was just a really amazing freestyler. And he just taught me how to like go into any situation. Like you don't have to. You're like, oh, you're about to be at a Shabbat dinner, or you're about to be like on a playground. I'm like, you could freestyle and cater to a crowd for like these 2 minutes that you have, and then you could literally wow the crowd and have them totally into you. So he freestyled the entire record, and I thought, I'm like, this guy's really popular. If I could, convince him, do a good deal with him, and you come in for 1 day or 2 days, and we do this whole record in 24 hours, and we could make this Jewish black thing happen. And I made a song called I Love Jews, and I made a song called Ariel Sharon, and it wasn't about Ariel Sharon, but I just wanted to name it Ariel Sharon to see what people would do. And it was before the trolling movement. This is like before stuff, and people were like, I can't believe, you're like, whoa, people like really hate Israel. And, I just named the song is just like, this is me ripping it up on the track, and I just named it that. So I like formulated this press idea in my head, and we got a lot of coverage for it. It was like an OK player. It was a respectable album, and people tell me about it till this day.
What was the song actually about?
Nothing really, just me rapping and him rapping, and Ariel Sharon, and kind of like Ariel Sharon, like if he's like a big dude or like kind of like a war general, it would be like me being like a war general on the track, like ripping it up. Be like, oh, you're a commander, you're a general, you're a soldier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Massacring.
Massacre the track, or and that could be looked at as funny or not.
Okay.
But I named it that, and that's what I decided to do, and I stick by the decision of why I did it, because I wrote a song called I Love Jews, because I was like, if someone posts about this, everyone's gonna love Jews, you know what I mean? And it's a clever flip, and that's what rappers are supposed to do. They're supposed to be clever and stick to an idea of what they think is really cool.
I wonder if you can be a rapper if you had a perfect childhood in a rich family
Sure.
and not be fucked up in any way.
If you go back to the movie 8 Mile, where like Eminem like makes fun of himself, you're like, my name's Clarence, and my parents had a really, really great marriage, and you're like, and I went to a really great school, and balance. And Lil Dicky, like his whole thing is like modeled off of like, I'm gonna save up my bar mitzvah money, and like obviously it was not money from his bar mitzvah, but I mean he literally makes fun of himself so much. It's like pure comedy, and then he spins it off into a TV show, and he became extremely viral and really successful, and he makes these things. He's like, my life is perfect, but I'm okay with that, but I'm a great skilled rapper, and I could rap about anything I want. And today hip hop is so big that I could rap about anything I specifically want, and that could be entertaining to people. He's rapping about me. He's rapping about oranges. I love oranges.
But
Oranges are amazing.
doesn't it need to come from pain?
No, it doesn't. It
No,
doesn't.
but Little Dicky does like comedy, like
Yeah,
comical rap.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is like a lot of the rap world, I think what maybe no
Right, from the
like,
beginning of time, it comes from struggle, it comes from pain. I mean, there's a lot of political rap, and there's a lot of, rap that, like, I have songs about my addiction and depression and mental health, and I also have songs that, like, I have a song called the Sweatpants Song, which is like, I was talking to some girl on the floor one day in LA, and I was like falling in love with her on the phone, and I'm like, she's like, you should. I'm like, you make me want to put sweatpants on. And then she's like, well, you should make a sweatpants song. And I'm like, so I did. And then I made a whole rap song about sweatpants. And then I got asked to do it for the Yo Gabba Gabba show, the kids show. It's world famous in the States. And, I played it in front of like thousands of people because I made some stupid song about sweatpants, of course. And like, no one wants to hear my song about the Holocaust. So, you know what I mean?
On
Like,
a kids
it's
show.
Bummer. Yeah. On the kids show.
right before the Sweatpants song. The Holocaust song, and then followed by the Sweatpants.
Yeah,
song. I feel
yeah.
like that's a good
So-
match.
It's the whole story of the Jewish people. And in that.
That reminds me of
no.
the story of Moshe.
So wait, let's talk about like rap for a second. Let's talk about the elephant in the rap genre, which
Okay.
is like
How do you make money as a rapper?
No.
Okay.
About, like,
because
about-
rap. Just for anyone listening, hip hop is $1 billion industry, and I'm making a small portion of that.
Which
So
is
if any
good.
Jewish person is like, how does he make money or doing? It?
well, it's
I
like a
really
natural
find it
Jewish
weird.
question, right?
Yeah.
How are you
how
making
much
money?
do you pay for rent? And do you make money rapping? I just want to know.
No, so I want to ask about like the rap. Like rap is very much focused on. I mean, today a lot of the mainstream rap. I don't know if this is how it stemmed back out of the 70s and 80s, but like a lot of the mainstream rap today is like the content is a bit. I don't know how to put it. It's like fuck bitches, make money, do drugs.
Profanities.
Yeah, it's like
Profundities or profanities?
Profanities.
Profanities.
Yeah, because
Profundities is like
Yeah.
the opposite.
Okay.
But anyway, so
Funny he said that though, Freudian slip. I mean,
yeah.
so you're talking to, so out of a rapper's defense, I'm going to come defending out of it. It's like, sure, I'm going to rap about how much money I have and how much this I have. And
I think it's shallow.
yeah, okay. No. And
It tends to be shallow sometimes.
out of defense for someone like that, a person wants to brag about what they have because maybe they never had anything. So now they're talking about all their accomplishments, which means being broke, being homeless, coming from the projects, and now I have large sums of money and large sums of women that bring me supposed happiness, and I feel like expressing that on the track.
Yeah. No, I
AKA
get
fuck
where,
bitches get money.
yeah.
you know
I
what
get
mean?
where it comes from, but I'm
Right.
saying like it doesn't feel to me like your rap really revolves around that. But I'm wondering if there's like if you feel like also there's an issue, there's a problem in like in rap in a lot of the rap genre where they're focusing on these
Right
like,
now, there's a resurgence of women and like feminism and rap. Like if you look at Neda Barzilai in Israel, if you look at, there's this girl Alyona in Ukraine. There's a girl named Lizzo, obviously in the U.S. and it's like women. They're like against body shaming. They're like larger, bigger girls that are like number one in all their countries, and everyone loves them. So we're at like an anti-bullying movement right now. So not only like it's a great time if you have like, if you're like, I want to rap and I'm like a loser, like I would encourage you, if you actually are like and you feel like all those things are against you, it's like a great time. If you're talented, like you should express yourself because people are rooting for the underdog, versus another time when there was such a barrier, like, and you had to like if ever I meet a girl and she's like a little obscure woman and she's like, I'm like, you should DJ because people like seeing what they're not used to. That's why Lil Dicky shot to fame, because everyone's like, oh, he went completely into like world star mode and then shot up. For me specifically, hip hop definitely like saved my life. I have a TED talk called Freestyle Rap Saved My Life, and it was like really just rapping for me really gets me out of my head. And it's something I really use. Like I've never had a real job besides anything that was illegal. I worked at the rehab that I went to, and I performed. So anytime you see me and you're like, "Well, what do you do? How do you work?" I've worked for myself for 10 years and got every check that I've gotten. Luckily, I've had a couple big hits that really made me a good amount, but for me, it works differently, and that's probably why I haven't been like world famous yet, But
Well, it sounds like you're doing
but I
pretty
feel
well.
like I've been doing it long. I think longevity speaks for itself. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we're like, how many times you get a message like, oh, we're a new company, we're a new podcast, we're new this. And you're like, oh man, we've been doing this so long. When is it? You never know that like another year from now, someone hears this episode, 6 years from now, you guys are still doing this podcast. Someone might click on my thing and be like, wow, that was the most, and then skyrockets. So
Bam.
And you're gonna start a podcast now,
I
right?
have one, yeah. It's called Hustle Beach, and it's about to put all the hustle for the DIY nooks and crannies. I mean, I booked my first tour in 2008, and it was called the Spare Change Tour, and I was like, and it was called Every Penny Counts, and I'm like, I need a tour sponsor, so I put out a bucket of change, and I'm like, thank you to all my sponsors, and they would all come and put money, and I would put it in the gas tank, and I think like I performed at one like Reformed synagogue in Boulder, Colorado, and I'm like, all right, I got like like a $1,500 or $1,700 from there. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to use this to pay for all the gas and go to every, dump in America from like, Neenah, Wisconsin, like Oshkosh, Superior, like Duluth.
Have you been to Birmingham, Alabama?
Yep, I have been.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
That's where I grew up.
The Nick. You know the Nick?
205. The Nick, no.
You don't know? Yeah, so
I
it's a
left
20.
when I was 13.
You were
It's a
probably conceived there.
Yeah.
Yes, honestly, I
New
wouldn't be
Jersey.
surprised if you were. Many people have been conceived at the Nick. It's a 24-hour special club, so like it's a bar, but it's like you need like a password to get in, and that way they could stay open like all hours. So you could go there on Thursday, we could pick you up on Monday, and you'd be like, where's Eitan? You'd be like, oh, he's at the Nick. It's been a rough
Holy
night.
shit.
Been a rough weekend.
Doing a roots journey.
And honestly, like, I love going to the South, and I love going to these obscure places because there's no Jews there. There would be like one Jewish guy. I like call the Chabad rabbi who'll stop by with a meal, and he'll be like, "This is amazing. What are you doing here?" We do like a Shabbat dinner once every 2
Chabad
months.
is everywhere, man. I mean,
I know,
like
but the best Chabads are like in the nooks and
nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Chabad in Anchorage. I've been to Chabad in Nashville. I've been to Chabad in Birmingham, Alabama. Does like a monthly barbecue or something where they get all kosher food like shipped in from like wherever. There's not like one kosher butcher in Alabama for
no, I don't think so.
So I mean, this is what and now that I'm in Israel.
Why did you make Aliyah?
What a good question. Why did I make Aliyah? Soundbite. I made Aliyah because one, I've thought about doing Aliyah even 10 years ago, and I was like, oh man, it would be so epic if I moved in Israel. If I even looking with my cousin's text, I was like playing shows here, and I'm like, I should come here. And then I always sort of resented myself because when I was going to jail for the first time, I turned 21 in jail, 18 in jail, I think 23 in rehab. I mean, I was going through all those things, right? I could have been in the military, you know what I mean? So it's like, my father was in 73 Yom Kippur War and in the 6-Day War. My grandfather was in 48, whole family died in the Holocaust, like many of us. And I always felt that my brother was in the military, and I'm like, I need to go. And I always felt this belonging more to the Israeli side, not to the Jewish thing, just specifically Israel. And I'm like, I want to come back. But I was very afraid, and it was very similar to like someone moving out of their parents' house. So I once got out of my parents' house, and I moved to LA. I drove across America, never drove back, and did shows all the way out there. So I'm like, all right, if I could convince myself, how do I get out of Koreatown, Los Angeles? I've been in the same apartments as I've been in LA, and I've had a lot of success there. And I was like, let me just fill out this form. I've been touring America forever, and there's like 50 people at the club, and it's like, it's not glorious when you're like touring as an artist and you're getting $300 a show and you're selling $300 worth of merchandise, and you pay $100 to get there and $100 for this, and so you're like, how am I gonna take it to next level? I need to do something that's gonna make everyone look at me again and me look at myself again. Israel. So I started filling out this thing, and I'm like, all right, just envisioning it. All right, let me fill out something nefesh b'nefesh. And I showed up to the interview with nothing, and like somehow they still like accepted me. Like I left all my passports, but I had all my passports in my emails from like traveling overseas with promoters. So I still had all like this information. And I'm like, I'm going to do it over here. I'll find a wife out here. I'll meet a Jewish girl in Israel that speaks like 6 languages, because in America they only speak one. No, hardly. And then I was like, I'll become a massively famous person in Israel, and then I'll go to like synagogues and tell my story of this obscure return to Israel that didn't make any sense. And then from there, I'll be able to play a bunch of other shows and really connect the musical community of Israel to the rest of the world, because there's a huge gap, I think, between America and Israel as far as what people think is good for Israel and all the money that is raised in the name of Israel in America versus actually what's happening in Israel and where all that money goes to that they raise in America. I don't know. It doesn't go to us. I mean, no offense, your place is nice, but I don't think, all the money.
No American money here.
No, seriously. And Americans are like afraid of Israelis. And I was like, I felt dumb, like forgetting Hebrew. And my parents taught me Hebrew when I was young. And I just felt like, what a shame, what a shanda.
So what's the?
So I'm returning, and here I am. And now
when did you?
6 weeks ago, 6.5 weeks ago. And now I've claimed victory in my Aliyah at the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast.
Yeah. Can you like do some rhymes about the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast?
Yeah. What do you think about that story? I've never got to really tell why I wanted. Does
Sounds
that make
like
sense to you?
you don't really have a plan.
Oh no, I have a plan.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I have a really big plan.
I mean, it sounds like
Okay,
it.
you're like,
You
it
got
sounds
the
like you don't know
whole
what you're
thing-
talking about,
The
buddy.
whole thing, you laid it out. You're like, well, then I'm going to go back to the States and I'm going to go to all these synagogues and they're all going to follow me back. And
Yeah, no, I'm gonna lead everyone to, lead everyone to Yaffo.
no, it sounds like you have everything kind of figured out.
Yeah, but it's totally, when you have plans, everyone, something smacks you in the face, and like.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to vision things.
But I think I'm really like excited about that, like touring, like the Jews of Europe and like community there and performing there.
Yeah.
I was like, I met this dude from Estonia at a show, and he's like, yeah, I know the only synagogue in Estonia. I'm like, I want to play there. And I'm like, I know there's like 14 people there, but I'm coming, and we're bringing a camera. Let's go to Estonia, Kosher. Like, yeah, let's do it, And it's weird. It's weird. The other day, I spent a significant amount of time searching out the one rabbi in the rabbi of UAE, Dubai, and I want to like speak there and like bring my.
Just don't go to Iran.
I know, not with the pink coat or whatever that chick's name was.
Yeah.
What her name?
Yeah. I don't remember her name, but she's there now. Yeah.
Well, good luck.
It's
for
better
her.
not name her.
Wait, so what's the toughest part about being in Israel? You've been here 6 weeks.
Just like it's so much, forced exercise. Everyone's like extremely attractive because they have to walk about 40 minutes everywhere to get. It's weird. I don't have a car. I live with roommates. So, I've stripped all my American privileges away and got very humble really quick. And, like even for musicians out here, it takes like a month to get paid by the venue after you do the show, which in America, you get paid cash before you go on stage or after, and they send a deposit too for us to show up.
Now, if you get money here, you're lucky.
Yeah. So, and just, I swear if I was just telling my friend about this the other day, if I could get a special human power here, like a mutant power, it would be to never get offended in Israel because.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Just like don't get just don't get offended or tell no, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. There's Israelis. You don't get offended anywhere.
Like who offended you?
No one has offended me. That's the whole point. No one even.
He has the superpower.
He has it.
I have it.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You're like, get the hell out of here. Nice, lovely time. Do you want me to do a rap for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Two Nice Jewish Boys.
Could you give me a beatbox? How do you do it?
Oh
God.
my God. Wait, like I could.
So
but
you ever do this? So
it'd be awful.
I do rap class actually. By the way, something
Okay.
I'm like rolling out here, and I've done them I do them for all the programs and like any synagogues and Jewish programs and birthrights, all that stuff.
Okay.
So I teach for someone and I teach people how to count. It's a whole thing. It's called How to Become a Jewish Rapper in 45 Minutes. If you're interested, email me rapperfriends@gmail.com. So I'm going to teach you how to beatbox.
Okay.
Okay. What's your favorite animal?
Oh God, come on, man.
Come on.
Raccoon.
Elephant.
All right, wrong. Your favorite animal is cats. And what's your favorite shoe?
Boot.
Yes, perfect. So we're going to do
Okay.
something called Boots and Cats. So it goes, it was just being like a boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. Now don't say that so loud. It's like boots and cats, boots and cats.
Were you planning on him saying boots?
I figured pretty much you would start saying boots and cats. Could you do it? Could you do that beat? Could you
Yeah.
try it? Let's try it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Hey. Yeah, what? kick a hot rhyme when the hot raps. Shout out to my boys on the Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast. I got raps and I got fast. Slow it down with a real nice view. I know a couple Jews represent, I'm playing hard. I got a couple sponsorships from the playing cards. You know it's cool. Represent my true is verbal for the Arut Sheva and the Jewish Journal that hosts this thing. Feeling amazing. Got boots and cats and a couple of Asians and Caucasians. Everyone blazing trails. Feeling the battle. I'm ready to saddle up. Nice on the horse with the rap flow. I'm in Israel. I got a pet camel. You know I'm thinking out nice when I'm flowing. I get it. And other people say, where you living? Out in the Negev. I'm not in Negev. I'm out in the Yafo. I love to eat shawarma with my nacho. Boots and cats every time I got to. Make some noise for 8 times and not. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn, how do you breathe,
We're
man?
We're rappers.
Me? Where you guys are beatboxers. I'm the rappers. We did a collaboration. That's amazing. Right?
Yeah.
What was that?
Can we release it on Spotify and
Yes.
become
Get
rich?
millions of dollars. How do
Yes,
you make
can.
money?
This should be our
yes. Now let's get to the reality part. So a lot of for
Was
Spotify,
amazing.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
You did amazing. I'm really
Oh,
proud of
thanks.
you.
Well,
You were
we'll
good,
celebrate.
Man. You weren't as good as me, but you were good. You were good, man.
Everyone else is like, they're gonna be like, oh my god, I need to meet that guy. One which is really cool about that, I never introduced it like that. Boots and cats is like such a simple thing for people to like just lay a beat, and you know it's a very Shabbat friendly rap class if you're listening. So
But didn't you have like trouble breathing?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like I was like running out of breath.
Yeah.
so you could get more
Well, you
creative with
smoked for years.
so like back to how do I make money? So
Okay.
everyone were like, how do you make money? So you get about 0.004 cents a stream on Spotify.
Really?
So that means if you get
That's
100,
like for every artist or for
yeah, it's for every artist. So if I have 100,000 streams, then like I make $400, which we split that up with the distribution. You'll get like they get 20 to 25%, so they get $100 or $80. Then you probably spend. So you really money off the actual music is really hard. There's a lot of stuff that's like Patreon or people like support your journey. I mean, people are now, like I said, you're in the age of not selling, but like I'm trying to gain like lifelong fans that want to like support my project. So like you can't, you know, you could stream let's say you leave here and you stream my songs, you guys like all day and just all night. I mean, it would be better if you just bought a shirt and wore it and then told other people about me. And that's how you support an artist. A like helps, a share helps, a tagging on Facebook, on tagging on this, or, you know, posting a video on TikTok at 50 views, 20 views, 100 views, and saying, hey, this guy is great on our podcast. You should get him on your podcast. Who do you work for? NPR. Oh, you'd love this guy. You know, whatever, all that happens. Any way that happens, it's like one thing leads to the other. And it's really interesting because people say, aren't you like, you're not religious? But my job is completely faith-based, that like, I feel like it's all going to work out. And I think that's what, like, you know, Jewish stuff is based around, like, it's all going to work out, you know, B'ezrat Hashem. And I'm like, yeah, the other day, get an email and they're like, hey, I got a $5,000 budget for you. And you're like, yes. And the next person's like, I'm sorry, we need you to do this. And we have like no money. And they'll ask you to do something for them. You're like, hey, could you do something for me? Sure. And they're like, okay, and can I get something in exchange, whatever? If I need to, you know, work with you on some level. And they'll be like, well, that costs money. And you're like, oh, you know, I guess you don't appreciate my value. So it's really like, I'm not out here. I'm in Israel, like trying to find all the people that value my story. And we're in the nucleus of the world, you know. Why live in the center of Los Angeles or New York when you could live in the center of the universe? And from here, all the cool Jewish people that are coming here having some mind-boggling experience will be like, wow, I need you to come to Basel, Switzerland. I mean, you'd be amazing at this museum. Or maybe to my synagogue in Estonia, or maybe the Boulder, Colorado synagogue that I performed at in 2008 during the Spare Change tour. I'll be like, we need to have Kosher Dillz back and tell his story and journey. And I get paid on engagements and doing that. And when I go there, I bring some Kosher Dill pickle hats and pickle shirts and
nice.
little merch
Sounds like
store.
an adventure, man.
It is, you know.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones in the Temple of Jews.
You don't. You can't.
Yes, I always wanted to say that on here.
You don't see yourself. You've been here 6 weeks.
Last question.
Yeah, you think you're gonna stay here? You think it's like a life move?
Yeah, it was a life move. It was a big move for me. And listen, everyone's like, oh my God, what are you gonna do here?
Ulpan.
Go to Ulpan. you know, and there's Ulpan is 2 words. It's also the studio, you know, so. You know, listen, you could fly from LA to New Jersey to see my parents for $350 to $400. You could fly from Israel to New Jersey for $750, $800.
Right.
It's just really like nothing much more. And my value is worth me more than $400. My quality of my life is worth more than $400. I know it's hard for a Jewish person to digest. It's like, I'm going to make this $400 more. But I mean, the quality of life here is amazing. I haven't met so many people that have wanted to help me. I'm sure it'll get old real quick, but like, there's a general sense of in Israel that people want you to like be successful at your goal, whether your goal is like, how do I get in contact with this person, or in a larger, you know, in a macro sense of, you know, listen, this is like my vision of what I want to do.
Right after they offend you.
Right after they offend me, which they can't offend me because I have superpowers of
true.
never being
That's
offended.
True. That is true.
Yeah.
All right.
So
thanks for letting me rap on your show.
Thanks for coming and for rapping on our It was
show.
amazing.
What next? You should ask all people to rap on your show.
No.
Kosher Dillz challenges you for a
Beatbox
rap.
on
If you're
all
like
our
the
episodes.
MK, who was the last? Who are some of the other people you had?
Who did we have just now?
An MK?
No, who did we have just now on the podcast? The guest.
Shmuel
last guest.
Rosner.
Shmuel Rosner. I don't know if that would have gone over so well. No offense, Shmuel. We love you, but I don't know if he would have rapped so well.
Shmuel Rosner. Cool posture.
I'm just waiting for the opportunity to start beatboxing again.
What can we plug?
Like
your podcast.
If you guys are in a podcasting mode, it's Hustle Beach. Just type in Kosher Dillz Hustle Beach, KOSHADILLZ Hustle Beach.
Upcoming shows.
Hustle Beach, and it's on Spotify, Anchor. When is this? I mean, I'm on tour with this band called Lucille Crew in Israel. So we're playing in Haifa, Beersheba, Kibbutz Dan.
You can get
How can they
updates on
find
your
Bands in town.
Facebook.
Yeah, and Facebook is Kosher Dillz, KOSHADILLZ. If you tag this little thing and you're like hearing my voice and you want to tag my Instagram, I'll repost you and plug your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you too.
Cool.
If you're out there selling your knickknacks and tchotchkes, you want to be
Pitch
a
of
big...
Kiss.
Yeah.
In
And
Yiddish.
what's it called?
Peach of Kiss.
Peach of Kiss. And just in general, my website's kosherdillzworld.com. You can see my programs there. If you're a cool artist that wants to collab with me and you think, or you have large sums of money that you feel that I'm talented enough to work with, I mean, I'm always open for business. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except Shabbos. Just kidding.
Of course.
I'm still open. Sorry, I'm just being honest now. But what else? I guess if you want to email me or you'd be like, wow, I guess my email's rapperfriends@gmail.com.
Okay.
And
with a Z or with an S?
just with an S, but Kosher with an A and Dillz with a Z.
Okay.
And,
cool. So guys, reach out. Keep updated about
and
Kosher
stream
Dillz.
those Spotify.
Yeah,
Follow
just press
on Spotify.
play all day.
Yeah,
play,
dude.
pause, play, pause.
Yes.
Wait, how does it? It's like every time you press play, it's a stream.
Yeah, I think as you press play, it has to go for 30 seconds, but you could just turn your.
Just get
turn
all your devices on your house and press play on all of them.
Exactly. Like you just have to turn it down and let it play overnight.
Yeah, you can put it on loop.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
Yeah.
Support an artist.
Two nice Jewish. Oh yeah, and I have a merch store if you want to see some cool merchandise.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna plug that. It's called districtlines.com. Districtlines.com.
You sell something that we can see?
No, this is actually from a people called 1948. It's like they're from Cleveland. They give me some free shirts, so I wear them because
Cool.
I like pack 2 bags to come to Israel, which consists of like 7 shirts and 3 pairs of jeans.
Okay.
Whatever's clean.
Yes. My merch store is districtlines.com/kosherdills, KOSHA-DILLZ. And I think it also works as Kosher Dillz, just regular.
Nice.
Amazing. So thank you so much for coming. Before we go, we have 2 collaborations. The first is with the Jewish Journal.
JewishJournal.com, which we told you about. You know Jewish Journal, right?
Yeah,
David
I gave him a shout out during the rap. David
Yeah.
Suissa, what up? And Ryan Torok.
Ryan Torok?
Torok. He's a great writer from there. So I know.
Nice.
Shout out to Ryan.
So they got great columns, great podcast. Shmuel Rosner also has a podcast.
Yes, David Suissa.
So JewishJournal.com. Check them out, guys.
Also, we collaborate with Roots Sheva. They're at israelnationalnews.com. They're also on Facebook, and it's also a great place to get updates in English about what's going on in this crazy country. And we accept donations. So if you like what we do, help us out. Go to twinjb.com/donate. And I want to give just
2NJB, right?
the
2NJB.
the word
the
2.
Number 2.
The number 2.
njb.com/donate.
His Israeli accent is like 2NJB.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
wasn't sure it was a
sorry.
G. Everyone's like two nice goyish boys.
Yeah, it's horrendous. I know. I just wanna. There was a fan who he hit us up and he told us that we have to have you, and I just want to credit him. I'm trying to find this. Yeah, so his name is James Grossriquez.
What?
Yes.
Ah,
And he said, Kosher
Grossriks.
is in Israel. You gotta have him. So thanks.
Yeah, we're definitely like doing your name zero
Yeah,
justice.
But
But
thank
James
you.
Grossriks, thank you
He
so
apparently
much. You got any
loves
idea how to
you
pronounce
and
this?
loves us. So it's very cool. And if you
Oh.
guys have guest
Thanks,
ideas,
James.
you can
Yeah,
hit
we
us up.
we should have just said James.
Yeah.
James, you're awesome. Thanks for sending my stuff, James.
All right.
Okay, guys.
You're
Thank you
listening
so
next
much.
Week. Thank you, Kosher Dillz.
Kosher Dillz at KOSHADILLZ. Thank you so much. Two Nice Jewish Boys podcast. You guys speak praises of your name. It's such a good combo. You guys are nice
you.
Thank
Jewish
you, man.
boys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.